Every day I'm on the road, I am reminded that my dash cam was one of the better things I've installed in my truck. Forget about all the crazy things I see on road. It's also been a really great little recording device for some of my off-road trips. And after lots of trial and error and making videos about my different dash cam setups for years, I've kind of come to realize that the best dash cam setup, for me at least, is one that you don't really notice, but just silently works reliably in the background. But you guys also know I love to dig deep into things and be able to customize all the different things in my truck. It's just what I like to do. So I found not only a camera, but also a power adapter too that allows me to strike that perfect balance. So this is what I'm currently running in my 2024 Tacoma, a Garmin Mini dash cam paired with a Dongar Pro Plus power adapter. This is a very minimalist setup. It's a small dash cam that plugs into nearby USB-C power provided by this Pro Plus, instead of using up one of your standard USB-C or cigarette lighter ports. It utilizes power from behind my Tacoma's mirror, but it has a harness that tucks away nicely and keeps the install clean. That means no running long wires, and there's a ton of customization options unlocked. And the install on my 4th gen Tacoma was surprisingly easy. What's crazy is besides the mounting hardware, this is all you need to run this setup. This is the adapter that comes with the Dongar Pro Plus. It tees into the truck and provides power and capabilities for the Dongar Pro adapter itself. And then this, of course, is just the dash cam and a small USB-C to USB-C cable, which the Dongar Pro Plus adapter kit comes with. So it's pretty crazy, there's not a lot to it. So basically the way the Dongar Pro Plus gets power is actually from behind this rear view mirror. So what we're going to do first is pull down this mirror, and then what we're going to want to do is actually remove this panel. So it comes apart in 2 pieces. First, the center piece over here. I've done this so many times. My center pieces are actually a little bit loose, so easy to pull apart. But if you're doing this for the first time, just know these panels can be a little tight. Then to remove this piece, all you have to do is press down on both sides. To give you an idea of what's holding it in, you could see these 2 clips on the side in red. With these items out of the way, you can see we've got access to a couple factory connectors. So in my truck in particular, we are going to unplug this one over here by pressing down on the clip and pulling out, always by the connector, never by the wires. That is where we're going to tee in the Dongar adapter. So the white male connector takes place of the factory black one, which instead plugs into this female connector. And then you're left with this little 3-pin connector, which is going to run on the outside of the mirror. So what we're going to do is route it so it's hanging out where we want to plug our Dongar adapter in. Now it's time to put our cover back on, making sure to tuck all the wires away. Don't forget about this secondary panel piece. Move our mirror back in place. And now I can simply take my Dongar Pro and plug it into the 3-pin connector. As you can see, I already had the mounting plate on because I've been running this setup for a while. Same with my dash cam, but you would also mount this. It's just 3M adhesive before plugging in the adapter and then putting it against its plate. There it goes. It's showing it got power. It's actually powering on, and I'm going to click it into its plate. Now you can mount your dash cam per the manufacturer's instruction, either using a suction or sticky mount that they typically provide, and plug in power using the USB-C at the bottom of the Pro Plus. Test to make sure your dash cam powers on when your vehicle is on too, and that it shuts off when the vehicle is off. Since mine doesn't have a screen, I rely on the light and OLED display on the Pro Plus. And And some of you may know, this isn't my first time installing a Dongar adapter, but this is my first Pro Plus model. So what's different? Aside from the ease of install, the latest version of Dongar's Pro Plus adapter really unlocks a lot of customization and versatility out of your dash cam, even if you've got one that's very bare bones, which I'll tell you, this one is. So the way a lot of these dash cams work is off of 5-volt power. Once the vehicle is on and providing that power, it stays recording to the micro SD card. Once the vehicle shuts off and cuts power, the dash cam stops recording and powers off too. Now you can get a lot of dash cams these days with features like parking mode, and that mode in particular is really useful for a lot of people. I in fact really like it because basically what it does is it allows the camera to record even when your vehicle is turned off and parked in case there's any suspicious activity going on. In a lot of cases, it requires the dash cam itself to be compatible though, and often requires a separate hardwire kit. This is a kit that you typically have to run an extra wire to your fuse box to in order to get that capability. The problem with that though is not just the extra step of install into your fuse box, but if you've got a dash cam wired into an always on fuse that doesn't necessarily regulate your battery's voltage, if you leave your vehicle parked too long, it can potentially drain your battery, which of course then would not allow you to start your vehicle when you came back to it. The Dongar actually takes advantage of having always on power from the vehicle so that it can provide continuous power in dash cam recording even when your vehicle is parked. But it does regulate your battery voltage and with really fine precision. So let's say I put this adapter into 5-volt always on mode. With this OLED display, there is one button that you can press to kind of switch things around, configure your settings. With the voltage cutoff setting, I can adjust what voltage level down to the 0.1 volt precision the Pro Plus will allow before shutting off to protect my truck's battery. Now this is regardless of what dash cam I have because the Pro Plus is taking care of that. There's also a timer mode, which is what I do. I leave it on for 8 hours so that it's recording for 8 hours after I shut off my truck, but you can adjust this time. This mode still has a safety built in that automatically shuts the dash cam off if your truck's voltage reaches too low. So you can kind of see, even if your dash cam doesn't support or isn't wired for your manufacturer's parking mode per se, the Dongar Pro Plus gives your dash cam that capability. Now I really like this about the Pro Plus because now I feel like if I'm shopping for a dash cam, God forbid something ever happens to this one, and I'll explain why in a little bit, I don't really have to constrain myself to shopping for one that supports all these extra safety features because the Pro Plus takes care of that already. And what's cool about the Dongar Pro Plus is that of course it's got more applications than just dash cams. Remember, it's got a USB-C out that, depending on your settings, supports 5 volts, 9 volts, or 12 volts out. So some of you know that one of the sponsors of my channel is Quad Lock, and for very good reason. They make a really, really great mounting system. I use it for my action cameras, but also for my phone, specifically to get my phone to mount in my truck, and Quad Lock is just exceptionally well at what it does. I recently installed this vent clip mount that easily I can pull my phone off, but also remount it. It's in a really, really great spot that's been useful for all of my off-road adventures. It's super solid, it stays in place, and it's just a really great place to mount a phone, both vertically, but also if I want horizontally. But today what I wanted to do is upgrade this mount to the mag version, which not only holds my phone very securely, that click is so satisfying, but it itself has a USB-C power port, so you can actually wirelessly charge your phone with this MagSafe adapter while it's mounted. All you have to do is plug it into power, and what better place than, say, a Dongar Pro Plus adapter. So I've got the new Quad Lock mag adapter and a really long USB-C to USB-C cable. Let's upgrade our mount. Okay, that was super easy, literally took a minute. So now with our Quad Lock case, you can see it mounts super nicely, super easy to put on, take off. But now let's give it power. I did have to run a long wire because the mount is far away from the Pro Plus and not mounted like where a dash cam would be, but it tucks away pretty nicely. After plugging in my USB-C on both ends, this is the only area where wire is exposed, but I used a wire clip to tuck it away the best I could. Let's test out our new quad lock mount, so we'll turn the ignition on. Dongar power's on. Cool. And we'll stick our phone on. You can see we're charging. And check out the Dongar stats. We're at 5 volts, pulling just about 1.3 amps. I think this is really cool, really slick. Another way to use the Dongar Pro adapter. Get 10% off your quad lock case or accessories today using my code and link in the description. So I've gotten a lot of questions about the specific dash cam I've been running or I prefer. And throughout the years, I've cycled through a lot of different ones, but it seems like the single one I always come back to, the one I like the most, is this one, a Garmin Mini. Now I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this specific one right here I'm holding in my hand is really, really old. It's actually a generation 1 and I've been running this for just over 5 years now. Before this truck, it was in my 2019 Tacoma. And you know what's amazing? From what I can tell, this thing has had no performance degradation. To this day, it is performed exactly as it has since day one. I mean, it's an incredible piece of hardware because to think how many days this thing has sat just in the San Diego summer sun while my truck was parked outside during work. It gets like 80 to 90 degrees, all the hours of footage it's recorded, and that clip of the Jeep with the wheel falling off. I literally just took that yesterday. There's no issues with the footage. It just works. To last this long, I think this thing is well engineered. And also in a world of dash cams that now have really big giant screens, they've got features like Wi-Fi and probably AI now. There's something nice about a simplistic, screenless dash cam that I can plug in a micro SD card to and know that it'll reliably capture footage. And I do find it a little disappointing that when you type in small dash cam on, say, Amazon, it's hard to find ones that are like the Garmin Mini. Most of them now still have screens, are a larger form factor, and are overall just larger. I think the biggest deficiency here is that it is not a 4K camera, and back in 2019, 2020, when I originally bought this dash cam, 4K dash cams were around. It's still 1080p though. And I will say, to be upfront, you don't get much out of footage that you take during the night. And honestly, if I was buying a dash cam strictly based on image quality here in 2026, this probably wouldn't be my first choice. But if your priorities are reliability, simplicity, and something small enough that you forget it's there, that's where this thing shines. It doesn't do anything funky. Basically, when it's powered, it's recording. When it's not, it's not. So the caveat to all of this is that unfortunately, it would appear that the Garmin Mini 1, this specific dash cam that I love and have been running, appears to not be available anymore. Garmin is actually on the generation 3 of their Mini, which while I don't have experience with, on the plus side, it looks like it's got the same controls as the Mini 1, although it's turned on its side. It's got a wider field of view and a built-in polarizer, which helps the clarity, something this camera definitely could use. And it does look like it's on sale now too on Amazon. Although if Garmin's not your jam, I've tried Toyota's own new dash cam. It's what I installed in Alex's 4Runner, which install-wise is solid. But I find the internal sensor is way too sensitive. Anytime I literally hit a parking lot curb, it triggered an event. So off-road, the camera, while great in theory, really becomes an annoyance. I've also tried Avantrue, another seemingly popular dashcam brand. The footage is definitely a notch above Garmin's, and you get recording towards the cab too. But it's relatively large, it's got a screen, and I personally don't find myself needing a POV. I will be installing a Wolfbox G900 in my sister's 4Runner if you are interested in a full mirror setup, sort of like what came in my 2024 Tacoma. Plus, it's got more features overall, like dashcam recording. Overall, if you're looking for a minimalist OEM style setup, I'd highly recommend the Garmin Mini 1 if you can find one. otherwise a Mini 3. I think it's still at a really good price point, and I'll have it linked down below if you are interested in getting this similar setup for your truck. But again, the magic of this all really comes in the Dongar Pro Plus. It's just being able to keep everything tucked away, avoid running extra wires. Honestly, it's easier to install, as you guys saw. And with all the customization modes, I just feel like this setup together is really well refined and reliable. So after years of trying different dashcam setups, I've kind of landed on the same conclusion every single time. The best ones are the ones you don't think about, but do their job really well every single day, because that's important for something like this. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you want more content, you can check out my Instagram. It is at ChloeKuoTaco. I am posting more in real time on there, plus fun behind the scenes stuff. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.